Hello everyone, hope we're all doing okay. Unfortunately there was no tier 2 stream today. Commentator dropped out last second. I'll react to this later. Hello everyone. Unfortunately, we had no stream in tier 2 today. I hope you guys can hear me. Yeah, we're in Canada today. Quite a lot of drivers couldn't make it both in tier 2 and tier 1. Most of our reserves went to tier 2. Because their pace is more good for tier 2. So only have 14 drivers here today in tier 1. Don't know why a lot of people managed to dropped out, but what can you do about it? Reason why there was no stream for tier 2 is that our commentator dropped out last second, and well, he told us half an hour before. We tried to find spare commentators, but we found one, and then he also dropped out without even telling us, so fun times. But anyway, 14 drivers still wanted full qualifying. Okay, you're an Oscar straight, and Kevin could have streamed tier 2. Well, oh well. For next time. If a tree falls in a forest and no one is around to hear it, what noise does it make? I swear we've had this conversation before. It makes the sound of a tree falling in the forest. What other sound do you want it to make? Anyway, full qualifying. 15 drivers, I thought we were 14. Even better, 15 drivers. So no one's gonna get eliminated for tier 1, so I can eat my dinner in peace, because I didn't have time to eat dinner. Yeah. No one will be getting eliminated. People can just take their time and practice and chill. Probably go out to confirm their setups and whatnot. Last minute practice, as always. What do you mean, but how do I know that? Obviously, it's gonna make the sound of a tree. What the sound you want to make a wolf? I mean, it's a tree. You hear it or not, it's gonna make a sound of a tree. So we got Martin's going out. First taker for Q1. I'd also like to note that Smithbell is reserving in the Mercedes for who is he reserving? Smithbell is reserving for Serbwolf, and I've got another reserve somewhere in here. BNL Kevin, there we go. Is reserving for DX Asinio and the McLaren. Grizz couldn't make it, Wilsey couldn't make it, Tan1212 couldn't make it, Sonev couldn't make it, Adam Dixon couldn't make it. Pretty big shame, but It is what it is. Quite a few fast drivers in there. Kevin now going out Martins first, starting his lap. As I said, the drivers just need to take a chill and validation or not. Everyone's going through. As long as you don't crash out, you're going through to Q2, that is. Because if you do crash out, then you won't be going through. So, like, it's their only worry at this point. Drivers gotta be careful for Wall of Champions. I mean, deadly corner. When you try to take it at as much pace as possible. A lot of drivers out, getting some rounds of practice in. Seemingly quite a few. Well, never mind, quite a few, just 2 drivers. Oh, we got a yellow flag in sector 2. Don't know who it was. I think it was Martins, but his wing seems to be intact. I think he was just taking it a bit slow. Andre, first person to set a lap with a 108.8 on the softs. Jamie Robertson next on mediums with a 110.0. Interesting practice on the mediums. Surely don't want to save it for Q2, but maybe he's thinking that he wants to get through to Q2 on mediums anyway, so might as well use them now. Half Shot Ferry, 108.9. Faxlin now in first place with a 108.8. Only slightly ahead of Andre. Half Shot Ferry 10th of them both. KCDB with a 109.6. Curious to see how, say, Martins, Murph Martin, DeRoy, Bosman Pickle, what laps they'll set in relation to, say, KCDB. DeRoy actually with a 111.1, definitely made a mistake along the way. Smithpell, our reserve for today, 110.8. He won the race in Tier 2 last week. Here he is reserving for us in Tier 1. He was reserved as well last week. Murph Martin on his out lap. JT Gelato still in the pit at Bumpier. Currently going through his lap. Martin's on another outlap. People getting a lot of practice in. While I've been munching at my food, BNL Kevins, set a 110.0. Also known as lap Boston Pickle with a 108.9. He's becoming one of the front runners nowadays, Bosman Pickle. Be curious to see the lap JT Gelato does if he comes out of the pits, and if he doesn't, QC and Q2. We could just retire, but clearly drivers just want to get some last minute practice about. Also, I hope the quality of the stream's good, because okay, never mind, I mean, it's alright, it's normal. Cuddly Noob as well in the pits, and Martin's having another go around. crosses the line with a 110.0. Godly Noob and JT Gelado, only 2 people to remain in the pits, and as it seems, I don't think they'll be coming out. Maybe one more time. Sorry, just maybe they might just come out one time to get some practice in later on in the session. I don't think they will though. Still see a larger number of drivers going out and about. Roy with a 109.8. KCTB I think's improved to a 109.6. At Bumpier with a 109.0. Falling out of the top 5. Head Bumpier trying to restore glory to Williams along with Jamie Roberts and trying to bring them back up to the level that they were years ago. And they've been improving. Jamie Roberts has definitely been improving. Head Bumpier has always been one of our top guys, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. Lost the first 2.0. You probably could. You probably could. And at least you got a setup. Yeah, at least you got a setup now, Kevin. Better than the last race for sure. And I mean, ninth ain't so bad. I mean, sure, Godly Noob and JT still gotta do gotta do laps when they ever do in Q2. So that'll probably drop you another 2 places down to say maybe 11th, 12th maybe. Which I mean, isn't so bad. Only 2/10 off the Roy as well, although I reckon the Roy's got more pace in him. Then again, if he actually has done 5 laps on those softs. Yeah, actually does make sense that he's got more pace in him, never mind. Murph Martin, I don't know how I didn't realize this, went up to 3rd. I had Bumpier's in 4th, both with 108.8s and only like a few thousandths of a second off each other. Very tight. The top 4, all within a 10th of each other. And then Halfshot Ferry and Boston Pickle as well, right there. And then there's like this jump from 6th to 7th. People slowly in the pits and starting to retire. Because, you know, I mean, obviously gonna pass through to Q1. I mean to Q2. Yeah, no point wasting tires in Q1 and yeah, Murph Martin actually was a really good lap. We'll just have to wait and see though if he ends up coming 5th or 4th. That's like, he's like a consistent 4th or 5th. Murph Martin, we'll just have to see if that's where he ends up again in Q and in qualifying or in the race. Two Renault slot on track. Cuddly Noob deciding to make an appearance as well. I just saw that Martins retired from the track, like retired on track. I hope he didn't crash out, because if he did, then I don't think he'll be able to qualify in Q2. And if he did retire on track, like through the menu, he'll be getting a cheeky warning for that, because you're not meant to retire on track. But anyway. Cuddly Noob will be going for one more go around. One of the few drivers left out on track. People really trying to get a lot of practice in. And Cuddly Noob gonna cross the line. We're gonna see where he goes. Up at the 7th, only 109.5. Normally his pace is more towards, say, what the paces of the top 6. But he's got KCDB right behind him with a 109.6. So I don't know if Cuddly Noob is just maybe a bit of a slower tires, or maybe the cloud setting in wasn't a good lap. Or if his pace is really just right around there. De Rooij doing as much practice as he can with 10 laps of qualifying. A feat we've never seen before, double digits of qualifying. I think he had said though that he was gonna get like one set surf softs, go on a lean fuel mixture and just drive. And drive. Which, to be fair, is exactly what he's doing. J. Robertson and Martins, equal times on the softs and mediums. Busman Pickles on an out lap. Let's see if he can improve on his time. I'm testing how far those tires go. I mean, 10 laps in lean. How long is a race in Canada? Probably around 30 laps of 50%. A bit more, a bit less, somewhere around there. Look how... Oh, I was gonna say look how satisfyingly diagonal the outlap the pit and the pit were, but never mind. De Rooij's... Wait, has De Rooij improved on his... Yeah, De Rooij's improved on his time to 109.5. On 11 lap old softs, I think. Yeah, 36 laps of Canada. Might see a cheeky soft 35. Might see a cheeky soft to medium strategy, unless it's gonna rain because of the clouds. I reckon we might get rain during quali. Not sure about the race. 18 people watching. Hello everyone. How are we all doing? Oh, 17. Anyway, only few people left not to retire from the session. Got 19 seconds left. Everyone's in the pits except for the Roy, who's driving to his heart's content. Round and around he goes. As he finally enters the pits. Oh, actually, no, it's supposed for Pickle as well. Currently it's 6 on 8.9. Let's see if he can improve as the final lap maker for Q1. Don't know if he's really trying for a fastest lap. His ERS seems to somehow be stuck at 83%. And oh, and he remains where he is. No improvement. If any of the drivers are watching, is there any rain during the race? Because I'm seeing the clouds. And I'm pretty sure it'll get rain during quali. Maybe at like Q3. Not sure about the race though. Maybe we'll see a partial race of rain and dry. Wait a second, did someone get eliminated? I swear we had 15 drivers. No rain set? I mean the sun's out now, so never mind. Did we not have 15 drivers, or am I going crazy? Because I only see 14. Currently checking to see if maybe someone left the session. I didn't realize, so I can invite them back. I feel like I'm going insane. It says there are 14 drivers, and Q1 it said there were 15 drivers. That's why. It was a glitch, so we do have 14 drivers, but for some reason the leaderboard skipped from 13 to 15 in Q1. Okay, now that makes more sense. I'm less confused now. In time to get this properly underway, because I have not enabled anything yet. So a lot of people on their laps. Now people are really getting ready for proper qualifying, as last qualifying there was absolutely no worry about getting eliminated. You see had Bumpy taking on the mediums, KCTV as well. Interesting call from KCTV to go out on mediums. I mean, I'm pretty sure we both know he won't be going through on mediums, but unless he's lucky, he only has to get past 4 drivers, so he might pass his 10th on mediums. But even still though, I think if I were him, I'd rather qualify on softs and, well, sorry. If the best he could go is 10th, say he were to go on soft, maybe pick up a 9th in Q3, I'd rather than start off with fresh mediums and like 11th then on those mediums in 9th maybe? I don't know, I'm waffling a bit. So who's the first man that's gonna set a lap? I see JT Gelato, but... Sorry, wait. Yeah, JT, but he's on an out lap. Andre, Faxon apparently fastest Q2. See a guy about to cross the line. That is Andre. Oh yeah, you see a yellow flags Mercedes, half shot Ferry or Smithbell. It's Smithbell. He's on the grass. I think he's just letting drivers by, so not really a yellow flag. I think we might have the first person Faxon's lap. It is 108.6. Currently fastest lap for Haas. And a lot of people now about to start crossing the line. Head Bumpier on mediums 109.0. Jamie Robertson on softs 109.1. The Roy as well 109.1 on softs. I see that Racing Point of Godly Noob is on an outlet about to start his lap. Offshot Ferry's going to be next across the line unless he validates to set a lap. Well, a champion's got to be careful you don't validate or hit the wall, but he hasn't validated. KCTB entering the pits. And Bosman Pickles retired from the session. He seems to have spun out. And he's going to be starting all the way down in 14th. Lost the first challenge then for Bosman Pickle. And he's not going to be happy with that one. Murph Martin, lap invalidated. B&O Kevin, lap invalidated as well. Canada, the pressure, it's getting to people. Bosman Pickle having a Charles Leclerc moment. This someone's going to cross the line. Martins is 109.6. A lot of people now bunching up in the pits. Probably will be going out a bit later. I don't think they'll be rushing to go out again. Godly Noob going to cross the line. Clips to cross. I don't think he loses a lot of time from that though. He's going to cross the line into 7th with a 109.1. Slightly off Jamie Robertson. Now the Mercedes of Half-Shot Ferry is invalidated again. So for another time he won't be setting a lap. JT Gelato set the 108.6. Only like 5 thousandths of a second behind Faxland. And the other McLaren of BNL Kevin is going to be crossing the line, but it's invalidated. So no lap from him either. I see Renault coming through sector 3 in the form of Deroy, but he's not on a lap. He let through Andre, set a 108.6. In the meantime, Murph Martin I think's just come out of the pits. Yep, he has. Smith Pell and KCTB also on outlaps. KCTB deciding to come out on mediums once again. And Offshot Ferry having another go around. Is every lap of this guy invalidated, the poor man? Not having the best of times. Offshot Ferry is. According to the game, BNL Kevin has just set the fastest sector 2. Now no disrespect to BNL Kevin, but I do highly doubt that. As he's coming through sector 3, opens up DRS. We're going to see how fast he can go. As long as he doesn't validate or crash through the Wall of Champions. And oh, for a second I thought he was going into the pits, and he's invalidated. Wall of Champions catching a lot of people out to the invalidation over there. And there's a piece of lap where you can really gain a lot of time or lose, but you just gotta be careful because it's so easy to invalidate, as we're seeing. KCB now starting as a lap. So I'm really curious to see where KCP goes on these mediums. If he can pull off a cheeky top 10, good to queue through at them. I find it hard though. Hebbo pays in 5th on mediums. But let's see. He's taking Wall of sorry, the corner of, well, before Wall of Champions. He's at chicane pretty well, really well. He's gonna cross the line into 10th, the 110.0. So he's just on the brink of elimination. So as long as BNL, Kevin, Merv Martin or Smithpelt set a faster lap than a 110.0, he's gonna be needing to set a lap on softs unless he wants to get eliminated. And there he is into the elimination zone as Smithpelt sets a 19.6. I was gonna say Merv Martin would definitely beat his lap, and probably so with BNL Kevin, so, and Smithpelt's done as well. But Merv Martin's lap is invalidated. 6 minutes and a bit more to go, so he's got time to come in and go out again. If he's got the fuel for it, could have another go around. Harsh Ferry's done 4 laps. Oh, Harsh Ferry had managed to set a lap time with 109.1. Jamie Robertson and Het Bumpier haven't gone out again. 5th and 6th for the Williams. I don't think Het's at risk at 5th on the mediums with the current grid. He might drop a place to Merv Martin once he sets the lap. Godly Noob's on an out lap and the smart call from him. Doesn't want to risk dropping out of the top 10. And Merv Martin did indeed re-enter the pits, so he'll be going out at some point again to settle a lap. BNL Kevin's on his out lap. Godly Noobs also started off his lap, trying to improve from that 109.1. As he's validated it, he's going to be happy with that. He saved the spin at least. But I hope he's got enough fuel to go around one more time, because if he doesn't, he can go out and back in, but he won't want to be using another set of softs to get through to Q3. KCB is still in the pits in 11th. He's currently in the elimination zone. Top 10 go to Q3. BNL Kevin as well, lap invalidated. With 100% TRS as well and lap invalidated, unless he's got the fuel for it. He'll have to enter the pits, and if I were him, even if he did have the fuel for it, probably better to just enter the pits and then go out again on softs. Maybe a fresh set. And Merv Martin on his out lap. Taking it pretty slow through to the last chicane right there. Not wanting to invalidate his future lap, because sometimes if you invalidate the final corner, it will also tell you that your next lap's also invalidated. So he made sure he didn't do that, sacrificing with speed, but I guess it was worth. Going down, not real yellow flags. According to the game, he's got the fastest sector 1. Could be possible. He was in the top 3 last time around. And he's invalidated his lap, and now that is going to be worrisome for Merv Martin. If he's got the fuel for it, he'll go around one more time. If not, he's going to have to rush into the pits and rush back out. He'll have the time for it, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be very, very annoying. And DeRoy, I think, improved on his lap with 108.9, I think. I'm not sure, but Godly Noob's definitely improved with 108.8. Merv Martin thinks he's got fuel for another go around. Now he's going to have to be really careful here. Maybe JT Gelato's starting on the session, that's fine, he's in second. So yeah, Merv Martin's going to be careful. Maybe he should sacrifice a bit of speed so he can set a lap and actually get through to Q3. According to the game, he set the fastest sector 1 again. So is Sector 2 his issue? There's the next left-hander that's about to come up after this right. Does catch people out, but he seems to have done it well this time around, so not a lot of left track left to go. Not going to validate it here on the hairpin was probably. Biggest issue is the final chicane. And there's this corner as well, but that barely counts as a corner, more of a kink. So as long as he can go through the chicane without invalidating, we could see Murph Martin maybe go up into the top 3 again. And he's kept it clean, hasn't hit the wall either. Opens DRS up wide, gonna cross the line and gets first place at the 108.6. Okay, Murph Martin, I see you. Setting a strong indication of what's to come for Q3. Maybe this is one of Murph Martin's favorite tracks. I'm unsure if it is. Well, he certainly seems to be better than the rest of the field in it. Q2 has under a minute left. BNL Kevin was able to settle lap only a 110.5 though. KSB set lap on soft to the 109.6, only just barely ahead of Smithbell, who's currently in the elimination zone along with Martins and Kevin. So KSDB on the brink of eliminations into the pit, so I have time to have another go around. Smithbell is currently on a lap. I don't know if it's a hot lap though, or an in lap. Seems to be a hot. Well, actually, I'm not saying his ERS go down. Could be a. It can't be a setup lap because Q2's about to finish. He'll make it to the line in time. Kevin entering the pits, so BNL Kevin will be getting eliminated in 13th place. Martins as well. The only person KCDB has to worry about is Smithbell. Only thing between KCDB and Q3. This man right here. And he enters the pits. So KCDB is safe in 10th. Which means Smithbell, Martins, BNL Kevin and Busman Pickle will be getting eliminated. Busman Pickle not happy about that. He's a good top 7, top 6 driver. And he got eliminated first into 14th. Lost the first challenge for him. Murph Martin in first. If he gets pole position in Q3, I think that's going to be his first pole in TRL, so he'll be looking for that. Jamie Robertson's lap is invalidated. Had Bumpy managing to get through to Q3 on mediums, so if I were him, I would let go of this lap that he has on soft so he can get through on the mediums. And then, oh no, he might actually be setting a lap. He should really slow down. And he's passed with 108.8. So at Bumpier, on softs, we'll be going through to Q3. I don't know if the fastest strategy is the mediums or softs. I'd have guessed the mediums though, and he could have kept it if he wanted to. But he's gone through to Q3 on softs instead. 108.8, 2/10 of Andre, JT Gelato, Faxlin and Murph Martin. Half Shot Ferry, Godly Noob as well, and Jamie Robertson all in that time space, and Arroyo lagging only a 10th behind them. Quite a close, competitive top of the grid we have here in Tier 1. Oh, and that Bumpy did make a mistake. He wanted to brake and go on mediums in Q3, but he braked too late and set the lap on softs. And I thought he tried to brake because I saw his car going a bit slower when he reached the finish line, but it was definitely way too late. And we have people going out immediately for Q3. Wait. There we go. So who was the first taker? Jamie Robertson. First taker out. Faxlin to follow. And JT Gelato right after them. Then Merv Martin and Andre behind them. KCDB out as well. So is Godly Noob. And after those guys, we've got the Roy and Half Shot Ferry all out. Only person left in the pits, Head Bumpier, who's also making his way out onto the track. So everybody's out, no one's in the pits. Almost feels like a formation lap we're having here. People getting ready for Q3. Oh, and had Bumpier as well. That lap time that improved on was a 2-lap-old soft, so not going to be his best of starts. Going to impact his strategy as well. Jamie Robertson first to start a lap. We saw a lot of invalidations in Q2 and Q1, especially in Q2, so drivers might need to be a bit more careful about that while trying to set their optimal lap times. And Faxon's invalidated his lap. Jamie Robertson still keeping it clean. And has anyone else invalidated so far? Only Faxon has. He won't be happy about that one. And Jamie Robertson only got the final chicane left to go through to set the first lap of Q3. Keeps it nice and clean. And he's gonna set a 109.1. I think Jamie Robertson might have set a 109.1 on every qualifying session so far here in Canada. And people next across the line. We've got Merv Martin 108.4. JT Gelato was meant to have his lap set, I'm pretty sure, but instead was invalidated. And we got the Roy with a 108.6, only 2/10 of Merv Martin. Good lap from him. As well, Half Shot Ferry was meant to have a lap, but also invalidated. So a lot of people invalidating it right at the end. Had Bumpier next. Goes up into third, 108.8. And Godly Noob now. Also invalidated. Andre is going to be able to set a lap, and it is a 139.2. Blistering pace from him. Clearly making a mistake along the way. Jamie Robertson lap also invalidated. Everyone invalidating almost. Andre's lap is invalidated, so he's going to be after rushing him to the pits. And then get another go. Canada's a short track though, so you have time to go in and go out probably 3 times in Q3. Godly Noob's lap's invalidated. Faxon on his out lap. Sorry about that. KCB in the pits. Guessing he invalidated and decided to go back into the pits. Half Shot Ferry being able to have another go. JT Gelato also in the pits. Invalidated laps really playing a factor here in qualifying. I think Head Bumpier has improved to a 108.6. Andre having another go. Godly Noob's lap is invalidated. Faxon about to start his lap. In case to be now, I think, is coming out. Oh, no, he's still in the pits. An offshore ferry soon gonna cross the line. Let's see if the final chicane will catch him out again. I'm guessing it was the final chicane that called him out last time around. I'm guessing it's what most people have been caught out on. But it goes through pretty fast, pretty clean. And he's gonna get a nice 108.7 in the 4th place. Andre, not having the best of Q3s. Godly Noob as well. And I don't know what's wrong with Faxton's lap because he's clearly not pushing, but it's a valid lap, so I'm guessing he maybe made a mistake and decided to back out. KCTV is still in the pits. I'm guessing he's only got one more set of tires and is saving it for later on into the session. JT Gelato about to start his lap as well. Almost invalidated it through that final corner. This man went from last to first last race in Australia as he invalidates his lap. Well, the best of qualifyings we're seeing here are a lot of invalidations. Apparently Tier 2 is madness again, you love to see it. Merv Martin really doing some good stuff there in first. 0.2 of second as well. KCB did do an invalidation on his last lap in the final chicane, final corner. You hate to see it. So 4 people still yet to set a lap. You can basically say 5 because Andre's lap was probably more of a spin around the track rather than a lap around the track. Look, 4 minutes left to go. And slightly above that. People are going to start wondering when they're going to go out. So we have a taker in the form of Godly Noob coming out of the pits. And very slowly out of the pits at that. There we go. And off and away he is. Faxton's on an out lap. KCB and JT Gelato still sitting pretty. Offshore Ferry is currently in 4th with 108.7, is on an out lap. Slightly over 3 minutes. Time ticking away. Godly Noob, Faxton, KCB, JT Gelato and Andre really have to be careful now as they really can't afford to invalidate their lap, and somehow that wasn't an invalidation from Godly Noob's part. Don't get me wrong, it's an out lap, so it doesn't really matter, but I don't know how the game didn't invalidate it because he just cut the entirety of the corner basically and didn't invalidate his lap. That was something. So yeah, they gotta be really careful not to invalidate, because if they do, then they'll be seeing a lap time, because this is their final run unless they got fuel for another one. But they don't have time to undo the pits and go out again. Now Godly Noob is gonna start his lap in Q3. Faxton on his lap, coming through sector 2 nicely. Coining the game fastest sector 2 so far. So Faxton could be on track for a good lap, maybe on track for provisional pole. Yeah, he's the beast still in the pits, leaving it for the ultimate last second. I think that's gonna be one of might be him coming out shortly. JT Gelato is on a lap. Faxton's gonna cross the line. It's a valid lap. And into 5th he goes with a 108.9. I think he had more pace in Q2, but just wasn't able to string it together in Q3. Andre now also on that lap. Godly Noob lap currently valid. We see a lot of people in sector 1. I hope they haven't crashed. I don't think they did. There's a lot of people and a lot of mix. And now Godly Noob gonna cross the line. He's kept it valid. He's kept it clean. Sets a 109.0, a 10th ahead of Jamie Robertson. Puts himself in 6th. Gets to be on an out lap. JT Gelato on a slow lap. So we'll probably be going around one more time. And KCTB, I was going to say invalidated, but he did, but it's fine. It's only his out lap. He has Andre right in front of him as well. Both of them on out laps, and they don't have each other, you know, driving against each other during qualifying. So very KCTB, I'll let go a bit, let Andre get ahead, even though Andre is faster than KCTB, so I probably won't have much to worry about. As KCTB is about to have a driver coming up right behind them as well. KCTB in a bit of a situation. Merv Martin improves his pace with a 108.1, almost at the 107s. And KCTB's invalid, and KCTB's going to cross the line. And his lap is valid. For a second I thought the game invalidated his future lap, which had really stiffed him. Andre going through sector 1, still needs to improve on that 139.2. JT Gelato as well needs to improve on that 116.6. In the meantime, Halfshot Fair went up in second with 108.5. And KCTB was driving from the session. He spun out, I think he spun out. He seems to still be driving, but I'm unsure what happened exactly. But anyway, Andre and JT lap still valid. Jim Robertson's not valid. Godly Noob's also retired on the session. So JT Gelato the first, well, one of the last people to set a lap. He's gonna cross the line. Where's he gonna go? Provisional pole maybe, and it is with a 108.0. And Andre crosses the line at 6 with a 108.8. And Merv Martin must not be happy about JT Gelato snatching away pole position on his last take of qualifying with a 108.099. No one into the 107s, but a blistering laps nonetheless from Merv Martin and JT Gelato. A cut above the rest. 4 or so tenths between first, second and third. And that's going to round up Q3. Yeah, Merv Martin internally crying from JT Gelato's snatching of pole. Wonder what went wrong with KCTB. After getting no lap time, but GG's to JT Gelato and Merv Martin, absolutely flying over the rest of the field. Although I reckon Faxon could have gone faster than a 108.9. I think he did in Q2 or those Q1. Andre as well. JT is gone. So JT Gelato last race went last to first. This race he starts in first. So what's gonna happen? Is he gonna go from first to last now? Is he just gonna go from first to supersonic speeds and blast ahead of everyone? And those people are now setting up their pit stop strategies, getting ready for the formation lap and all that jazz. Apparently more issues in tier 2. What do you mean JT's last? Hold up. If JT's actually last, so I might need to call a lobby restart on that one. I'll need to see how it is in formation lap and race start. But JT should definitely not be last. He is. I think I'm gonna have to call a lobby restart here. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to call a lobby restart on that one. Which I'm not happy about. I sent out the ad that it's a lobby restart. I don't think the drivers have seen it, and they should, because I've called the lobby restart. And I want to see people actually leave the session before I leave the session. But definitely is a lobby restart, so don't worry JT about that much. Okay, Jamie's left the session, he's realized. At least. And yeah, I'm gonna leave. Gonna have to redo the lobby. I hate when this happens, when stuff goes wrong, especially when it comes to lobby restarts, because they take time, and I don't like that. Things go wrong. It's annoying. Anyway, it's gonna be, it is what it is. Gonna have to quickly re-invite everyone. And yeah, alright, gonna have to do this really quickly. Gonna have to load the settings. That saves so much time. There we go. And track is Canada. Alright. Everyone top 10's on soft, so luckily don't have to stay worrying about that. Just gonna have to quickly re-invite everyone. So we have my mind is a blanken. So in the meantime, while all this is happening and I am here swearing, how are you guys all doing? Alright, so I need to do some quick re-invites. If someone could invite Half Shot Fair. Wait, this. I think everyone's in. I hope. Oh, not yet. Almost everyone is. Alright, I have to set up the grid, but I can't set up the grid until everyone's in. Don't know who I'm missing. Yep, dry weather. Thank you for the reminder, Martins. I think we're still missing one person. So I need to find the Q2. Jesus Christ. Lobby restarts take quite a while, and I hate it. Thanks for that, Tommy. I need to disable qualifying. Okay. Host options. And I need to set that to custom. Don't know who we're missing. Who are we missing? Oh, Godlinoob had to restart his PS4. I'm gonna send him another invite. Okay, I can quickly set up the grid and then we can be off to go. So, I am a spec. I want to quickly. I'm a spec. I can't do host options. Okay. So, grid editor. Bossman. Wait, I have to drop me down. Let's do that. And now, Bossman was in 14th. BNL Kevin ahead of him. Then Martins and Smithpell. Martins and Smithpell. Then KCDB. Oh, what just? Oh, I randomized by mistake. Fuck. Okay. So I was in last. Then there was Bossman. Then there was Kevin. Then there was Martins. If I can find him. Then there was Martins. KCB was in 10th. And Smithpell, if I'm not mistaken. Quickly check that out. So KCDB in. Oh wait, why is Andre here? With player up. So KCDB in 10th, and then Jamie Robertson, Godlinoob, Faxland, Andre, Deroy, Halfshot Ferry, Ed Bumpy, Murph Martin, JT Gelato. Just need to quickly make sure Jamie and So Smithpell is ahead of Martins in 11th. Okay, Kevin, I think that's all good. Confirm changes. I hope everything is good. Gonna go into spectator, everything should be good. And ready up. I hope everything is good. If it's not, I am sorry. Shit. Kieran didn't choose a car. Okay, he did. Oh, he managed last second. Okay. I should remind everyone to do setups. Alright, hopefully everyone did their setup. I'm just gonna quickly make sure that everyone is on the correct tire. Top 10 are on softs, that's all that matters. Hopefully everyone did their setup. The grid looks fine. There we go. So formation lap underway. There'll be restart now, all passed and good. And hopefully we won't need to restart again. Got 35 laps of Canada. Hope you guys are all ready. I wish all the drivers good luck. drivers now making their way to the grid slots. One quick look at tyres. Got Smith-Pell on mediums, Martins on hards, Kevin on mediums, and Boston Pickle interestingly on softs. Boston Pickle looking to go from last to first. JT Gelato did that last race. But now it's Canada. 35 laps of Canada. Oh, Canada! We have 5 red lights. The game does this, takes its time. It's lights out and away we go, and JT Gelato gets away well, and Merv Martin slots in nicely behind him, and Halfshot Ferry looks to get past Merv Martin on the outside, has no room though, has to back out of it. People keeping it clean. We've got 3 wide at the back. We've still got 3 wide at the back between Smith-Pell, Bosman Pickle, and there's contact. And Bosman Pickle and Smith-Pell have crashed, I think. Oh no, actually I'm not sure that. I think it was Andre and KCTB maybe, because they've dropped down 3. And Bosman Pickle actually seems to be all good, and even Smith-Pell, so I might have been looking at the wrong people and said the wrong names. My mistake for that. People though still fighting it out, still duking it out. Martins and Kevin and KCTB as well behind them. His front wing still seems all good as well, so he just dropped 2. Goodly Noobs dropped 5, but front wing seems to be mostly intact. And Bumpier's dropped 1, and Halfshot Ferry going well off the line. And Bosman Pickle's up 5. I could have sworn I saw Bosman Pickle and Smith-Pell crashing, but I guess it was Andre and someone else, and Andre is slowly making his way around. He's got front wing damage, I'm pretty sure, so he's probably gonna have to pit. And Bosman Pickle actually, I think it also has front wing damage, because he's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I'm gonna quickly check. Yeah, he's got front wing damage, so was it Smith-Pell and Bosman Pickle then? I'm not sure. And now KCTB and Martins fighting it out. It's a pretty hectic start. Now Faxton looking to make his way to get past Ted Bumpier. Already up 2 places. Godly Noob also entered the pit. I'm guessing he also had front wing damage. Yeah, Penny, JT Gelato Australia lost the first. JT Gelato in Canada first to last? Question mark. Already pulling off us over a second between himself and Merv Martin though in 1 lap. Sorry, in 2 laps almost. And Merv Martin wants to stay within that 1 second gap at least to lap 3, so he can then use DRS to stay within JT Gelato. At Bumpier though, we're close to Halfshot Ferry, Faxton as well close behind, and Roy as well. And BNL Kevin and Martins fighting it out. I think Kevin got ahead of Martins there. I'm not sure if Martins has some front wing damage. Seems to be all intact. Jamie Robertson still there, still in DRS range to Roy, just barely though. He's gonna need to step on the gas just a bit if he wants to be able to use that DRS and stay within that zone. Merv Martin's managed to pull into the DRS range as well, good on him. Although he's right out of it now, he's gonna need to give a nice push to get into that DRS range. Jamie Robertson gets 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings already, and I'm not sure if Merv Martin's gonna be able to get DRS. And the DRS detection point's pretty early on when it comes to this, and he's got DRS, so he's going to be able to use that to gain on JT Gelato's. Halfshot Ferry is almost 2 seconds down on Merv Martin. And Merv Martin, although he's got DRS, still remaining just barely within that 1 second gap to JT Gelato. They go around the same percentage of ERS. Bumpier still though really right there, really close behind Halfshot Ferry. And Faxton is also pretty close, and even DeRoy, honestly. It's a lot close racing, but not a lot of overtakes so far. Sportsman Pickle now also picks up a penalty for multiple warnings. And Murph Martin now already 2.3 seconds between himself and the Half-Shot Ferry. And DeRoy seems to have dropped a second to Faxland. Almost. But I think he's still got DRS on him. No, DeRoy does not have DRS, and that's gonna lose him quite a lot of time as Faxland almost took a gander down the inside on Het Bumpier. And that Bumpier really close to Half-Shot Ferry as well. They're almost... oh, we could be seeing a double inside overtake, but no, instead everyone chooses to go single file line and not make any risky, ballsy, unnecessary moves. And DeRoy slowly falling even more out of that DRS range, and that's gonna be a real detriment to keeping up with the top 5 if he's not within that DRS range. He's got a lot less ERS as well, probably trying to keep up with them. Jamie Robertson as well, already down to 14% DRS. Murph Martin still being able to stay quite within that 1 second gap. But JT Gelato, not only is he managing to... Are they overtaking Andre? I don't know what's going on with Andre, but he seems to be really going slow. I don't think it's an AI driving, but he just seems to be going really slow, and his front wing seems intact, so I don't know what's the cause for that. JT Gelato and Murph Martin. I was saying, Murph Martin, although he's being able to stay just barely within of JT Gelato the DRS, he's not really gaining, and at the straight he's going to just end up falling out of DRS range. But he's gonna he's got to push and make sure he is within DRS range on each and every DRS. Try and stay within that 1 second gap and maybe close it down if JT Gelato makes a mistake or something, or he finds some beautiful pace. So Half-Shot Ferry now over 3 seconds behind. Murph Martin's kind of basically half a second a lap. Murph Martin is lapping faster than Half-Shot Ferry, and Smith-Pell has spun out onto the grass, allowed for BNL, Kevin and Martins to get past him. I think KCDB as well. So Jamie Robertson is pretty close to DeRoy, and DeRoy is still not that far off at Bumpier, and Faxon I think got past at Bumpier and I didn't realize that. Oh, we could see BNL Kevin now make a challenge on KCDB. He's got DRS on him. He didn't do it through the chicane. I think he's too far back to be doing it into turn 1. In fact, he's too far back to do so. These three still pretty static, and Murph Martin is now 1.8 seconds behind JT Gelato. I don't know what's going on with Andre. Does he need another invite? I don't know what's going on with Andre, because he's literally just inside Andre, and even though he's ghosted, he's still like basically fighting him. I don't know what's happening here, but focusing on other things, Faxon and Bumpier, DeRoy back into that 1 second range, and Jamie Robertson slightly falling out. Half-Shot Ferry is the first taker into the pits, I'm guessing on a normal strategy. Yeah, no front wing change needed, goes on the mediums. So early on, I don't think the mediums are going to last until the end, so maybe he's going for a soft, medium, soft strategy. I don't know. Maybe he's banking on a safety car. Not really sure. Now, people slightly picked up multiple warning penalties. A lot happening in the last 30 seconds. As BNL Kevin and KCB are side by side. The KCB's got softs and manages to stay ahead of BNL Kevin. As Half Shot Ferry is also right behind them, and Martin's not far off either. And KCDB is clearly feeling the pressure. BNL Kevin almost lost the rear end and spun out Half Shot Ferry. And Half Shot Ferry now might look round the outside of BNL Kevin. And in fact, he does look around the outside, and I think he's going to get past and gets past BNL Kevin. A nice move from Half Shot Ferry, and now KCDB is going to be his next target. It might not take long for him to get past KCDB. He's going to take around the outside of the hairpin. And KCDB not giving him a lot of room, but managed to get past. And BNL Kevin also taking advantage of the situation. And KCDB's lost 2 positions in 1 corner, and he doesn't even have DRS for it. So BNL Kevin is going to get past KCDB, and so is Half Shot Ferry. I think KCDB is entering the pits. I don't know if he's got front wing damage. A lot of people entering the pits now. So I don't think he's got front wing damage. I think it's just part of his pit strategy. Maybe a bit of an undercut on mediums, so maybe mediums will last till the end. Maybe I was wrong. I'm not sure. And now it's Ed Bumpier and Martins, I think, fighting alongside. They want to make contact, and just barely not making contact. I think Martins had to take some slight avoiding action there. I'm not sure, but Bumpier managing to get ahead of Martins. All clean. The Roy still barely managing to hang on right behind Faxon, who's 6 seconds behind JT Gelato. And Murph Martin might be looking to undercut JT Gelato. A smart strategy call from him. And if it works out, fair play to him. Ed Bumpier now really close to BNL Kevin. He's going to have DRS on him. BNL Kevin not going to have any DRS as JT Gelato enters the pit, so we're going to have to see where Murph Martin comes out in relation to that. But Ed Bumpier now is going to look around the outside of BNL Kevin, and before the corner even comes, he gets ahead of BNL Kevin. So Murph Martin and JT Gelato, how's it looking? JT Gelato still comes out ahead of Murph Martin, and by 3.3 seconds. I wonder if maybe Murph Martin got caught up in traffic, and that's why the undercut didn't work for him. Faxon likes staying out long. He likes to make his tires last. I think that's what he's going for here, trying to make his softs last as long as possible, drive them till the end of their lifespan, and then swap to the mediums. As he locks up going into the hairpin and loses the traction right there. So if I were him, I'd be entering the pits ASAP. A lot of drivers pretty close, within a second or so of each other, or 2 seconds, but no one in really prime overtaking position. Say that, Jamie Robertson Martin's pretty close. Too far back though for Jamie Robertson to take a move. Almost took a dive bomb down the inside, but thought twice of it. Maybe now coming into turn 1, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? He is a bit back, but I think if I were him, I'd go for it. He's going for it, goes down the inside. A nice battle between Jamie and Martins. A bit of contact between Jamie and Martins. Martins able to save it, but still lost him quite a bit of time. But Jamie Robertson up into 8th. The Roy now, and Ed Bumpier, same story, all close to Half Shot Ferry. Right behind him. Question is, will we be able to get past him this time around? They go over 20 laps to do so, so no rush. No rush in that. And no worries, Orange, for not being able to commentate in well, actually a bit of worry for not being able to commentate in Tier 2. It would have been nice if you told us earlier, since you know we can have a stream for it. But anyway, Boston Pickles entering the pits again, out of the pits again. I'm guessing some front wing damage or something went wrong, because I'm pretty sure Boston Pickle was not looking to pit again, and on softs as well. Maybe it's a soft medium strategy that he's going for. So maybe I was right. So maybe the strategy is soft, medium, soft. Maybe this is 2-stop, and maybe Faxon's looking to make the 1-stop. Maybe that's what we're seeing happen here. As Jim Robertson get past BNL Kevin and Ed Bumpier. Yeah, so it is a 2-stop strategy. Okay, so the mediums weren't meant to last at the end, so it is a 2-stop strategy. So it'll be interesting to see how it all factors in. But Murph Martin is losing time to JT Gelato. And with having no DRS assistance, he's not going to be gaining, and then he's going to be losing more time. Stroy almost no ERS, falling off Ed Bumpier and Halfshot Ferry. And Halfshot Ferry managing his ERS very well. Noob in 11th, involved in some incidents earlier on, within a second of Smithpell to enter the top 10. And Ed Bumpier though, always Halfshot Ferry Club the Gross, maybe this will be Ed Bumpier's opportunity to go down the inside or the outside of Halfshot Ferry to get past. He might be looking around the outside actually, but he's too far back, not going to be able to do that. He gets a good exit, so I reckon now Bumpier's going to strike and he's going to try and get past Halfshot Ferry. Go a bit on board with him. He's pretty far back though and is actually not going to be able to do it. And because of Halfshot Ferry's excellent ERS management, or at least pretty good ERS management, whenever Ed Bumpier is too close to Halfshot Ferry's liking, he can just shove it into overtake and manage to not let Ed Bumpier get past his BNL Kevin. Just pit. And Faxland still hasn't pit yet. Definitely going for a one-stop strategy. So fair enough to him by keep making the tires last this long. I wonder if he'll go from softs to hards, or if he'll manage to keep the softs long enough and make them last so long that he'll be able to do a one-stop soft to mediums. We'll have to wait and see what Faxland does. He's really good with making his tires last long. I said Bumpier tries to get past Halfshot Ferry, but not able to yet again. Was really close there, but had to back out because of corner limits. Probably got a warning for track limits anyways. As Godly Noob managed to get past Smithpell. I'm pretty sure it's behind Smithpell. When I last talked about Godly Noob, is now ahead of Smithpell and not very far behind Martins. A 4-second gap, but Godly Noob's a faster driver than Martins, so be closing that gap shortly. As KCDB is retired from the session, and he seems to have done so in the pits. I don't know what went wrong. It's not a crash. No accident, no safety car, which would have greatly helped Faxland. And JT Gelato is now cut up to Faxland, and Faxland, having no DRS and barely any ERS, no competition to JT Gelato, and enters the pits now. And I'm very curious to see what set of tires Faxland goes on. I'm guessing it's going to be, if he made the softs last 15 laps, he could make the mediums last 20, and that's what he's going to do. Softs to mediums, one-stop strategy for Faxland. The only driver I think is going to be able to pull off this one-stop strategy, and I'm very intrigued to see if it works out for him. And I reckon it might. That is a very good call from Faxland. He's very good with the tires, and I am very curious to see how this all plays out by the end of the race. And Bumpier still not able to get past Halfshot Ferry. He's been trying and trying and trying. But maybe he'll manage soon enough. Lap 15 out of 35. Almost halfway through. Take a quick look at, oh no, wait, there we go. Tires. A lot of people out in the mediums. 6 and 7 laps seems to be the average. Then we've got 13 and 14 laps. We've got a little bit Smithpell from having the incidents earlier on. So these guys will probably pit in around 10 or so laps time at Bumpier and Halfshot Ferry. Can you make gap timer to leader? Sure, I can make gap timer to leader for a bit though. Faxland's 18.5 seconds behind. Behind JT Gelato, and I think that means once JT Gelato pits, he'll be able to get past him. As for penalties, only Boston Piccolo at 6 seconds right now. As Smithpell's gonna enter the pits, probably gonna go on this mediums. And De Roy, once again, we see De Roy. He seems to either be really close to, say, Het Bumpier or whoever he has ahead of him, and then sometimes he'll lurk back around slightly over a second behind, and then he'll make his way back into their DRS range. But having such little ERS, it's gonna be hard for him to stay in that DRS zone. But seems like he's gonna try. Not a good chance of that. And Het Bumpier now really close to Hofstraat Ferry, goes around the outside of Hofstraat Ferry, and Hofstraat Ferry defending for his life, giving Het Bumpier just barely a car's width, and Het Bumpier not able to get past Hofstraat Ferry, and Hofstraat Ferry defending like a madman and making sure that Het Bumpier does not get past. Pretty sure it's all been clean and legal too though from Hofstraat Ferry, so fair play to him. Het Bumpier could just steal TRL Limitless's title and be like hardest driver to get past on the PlayStation instead of on the Xbox and label it Hofstraat Ferry, because he's not making it an easy challenge at all for Het Bumpier. And Faxel now within a second to Jamie Robertson. And Bosman Pickle as well, really close to Andre. Bosman Pickle is on a faster compound of tyres. And Het Bumpier right on Hofstraat Ferry's tail once again coming into turn 1. And once again he's gonna send it. Or no, not gonna send it this time either. Oh, gives him a bit of a nudge, but not enough to get past him. Het Bumpier really needing to wait for that prime moment to get past Hofstraat Ferry. In the meantime, Andre got past Bosman Pickle. And now there's a 3-second gap between them. I don't know if everything's good with Bosman Pickle. Anyway, Andre, half a second to Smith-Pell. Could see him get past him in a few laps time. In fact, then close to Jim. I'm going to make the gap to leader again, but I'm not going to keep it in gap to leader for long. I prefer to in its interval. I am reading the chat while commentating. I've got two monitors set up right here in front of me. And Faxland looks to get past Jamie Robertson. Goes down the inside, sends it down the inside. Is going to be able to get past Jamie Robertson before the corner comes, and Bosman Pickles left the session but didn't retire. Yeah, I'm gonna invite him just in case something went wrong. Bumpier still really close to Hofstraat Ferry, still not able to get past. Faxon's been able to get past Jamie Robertson. And Faxon is 17.6 seconds behind JT Gelato. Merv Martin 9 seconds behind JT Gelato. And Andre now really close to Smith-Pell, but still not able to get past. He's on the fast set of tyres. He is on the medium, Smith-Pell is on the hards. Jamie Robertson's been able to stay within that 1 second gap of Faxon, using DRS probably to be able to do that, but still hanging on nicely. De Roy has been able to hang on nicely as well to the behind of Het Bumpier. And as we all know, Bumpier is still lurking behind Hofstraat Ferry, not being able to get past him, as Godly Noob is entering the pits. Curious to see how many. He's done 17 laps on mediums. After having to pit earlier on the incident he was in, he's swapping onto another set of mediums. And look, and I think he also had to fit on a new front wing, losing a lot of time there. And now Murph Martin's entered the pits, and Bumpier's entered the pits. Sorry, Murph Martin and Half Shot Ferry have entered the pits. And Faxon's gonna pass them both. Faxon hasn't really been able to gain on JT Gelato, and if he did gain, not by much. So once JT Gelato pits, he's probably going to be able to get past Faxon due to him having such a fresh set of tires, but we'll just have to see. We will just have to wait and see. Andre also in the pits. I just realized I don't have interval up for some reason. I reckon I'm gonna start seeing more people now coming into the pits. In fact, that Bumpier has entered the pits. Puts Roy up into second, but I think the Roy still needs to pit. Once again, he is on 12 lap old mediums, so yeah, we'll be needing to pit again. BNL Kevin on 8 lap old mediums. We could see him last till the end of these mediums as well. Do the same strategy as Faxland, except I think Kevin's pit. Yeah, we could see BNL Kevin also do a one-stop strategy. Wait, actually no, I don't think we can, because I think BNL Kevin started on the mediums. Martins hasn't pit yet actually. Yeah, the only driver not to pit yet. He started on the hards. Probably go hards to softs, I'm guessing. And Het Pompier once again finds himself within in DRS range to Half Shot Ferry. And with 13 or so laps to go, he needs to get past Half Shot Ferry. As JT Gelato is pit. Busman Pickett managed to rejoin. He's had some issues, but anyway, JT Gelato's pit, and he's come out of the pits, and Faxland was not able to get past JT Gelato. So Faxland now, who, don't get me wrong, if he finishes in second, one heck of a race either way after starting in like 7th, but since he was not able to get ahead of JT Gelato, I highly doubt he's going to be able to win the race, because JT Gelato's now got a fresh set of tires. And if Faxon has any chance of getting past JT, it's going to be right here in this lap probably, before JT's Gelato's tires fully heat up and fully get ready to start banging out probably the fastest lap of the race. Does JT have any warnings? I could check. I don't think he does. Oh, actually, he has 2 warnings. So one more warning for JT. Can't see him get a time penalty. As for Faxland, also 3 warnings. 1, 2, 3. And doesn't have a time penalty, so must have been for something. And oh, it's Half Shot Ferry, and Het Bumpier finally fighting it out again, and Het Bumpier not able to get past Half Shot Ferry yet again. I'm not sure if there was some illegal defending there, because there was a bit of contact, so I'm not sure if that'll get reported, but he's got a lot. JT does have a lot of VRS, 74% DRS, it's brilliant stuff. And Faxland is now out of DRS range as well, so he's going to be kissing first place goodbye. But hey, I think he's actually gaining on Murph Martin, so he could be getting onto a nice second place again. Het Bumpier still lurking on right behind the Half Shot Ferry. I feel like that's going to be the phrase I've said the most this entire stream, and probably the phrase I've said most in the entire day, probably the entire month. And they'll probably hear me saying it a million times more again. Brilliant commentary. at Bumpier now. Again, really close to Half Shot Ferry. Again, it's going to take it around the outside. Now he's going to take it. Oh, it tried to go for a bit of a switchback. Not really a corner he can switch back on, but he saw what he tried to do. Was not able to pull it off. Got Linoob Knight going to look to get past BNL Kevin. He's going to go down the inside of BNL Kevin before the corner comes. I think he's going to slot nicely out of BNL Kevin. Yes, he does. Easy as you like. And BNL Kevin enters the pits. Did Martin spit yet? Because I don't recall. I think he did. Yeah, he did spit. He's in 9th, so pretty good race for Martins as well. Good strategy, that's for sure. Deroy now 2 seconds behind Head Bumpier. And now obviously Merv Martin gonna have fresher tires than Faxon, so we could see him get closer to him come the end of the race. And Head Bumpier too far back again to get past Half Shot Ferry. Looks like I'm going to be saying that every single time they come up to turn 1. And not a lot going on. Drivers quite dispersed. Literally the only thing going on is Half Shot Ferry and Head Bumpier. The rest of the drivers all seem to be over 2 seconds apart, or 2 seconds or so apart. What happened to those 2 seconds? The Roy lost because he was within 2 seconds of Head Bumpier. BNL Kevin's left the session. I'm going to quickly re-invite him. Oh yeah, Boston Pickle was having internet issues, which is unfortunate. That's why he left and couldn't rejoin. I don't know why that's happening. It happened in Australia and now it's happening in Canada, so I hope everything sorts out. I think I saw a bit of a battle ahead. Yep, Head Bumpier and Half Shot Ferry. Nothing new there. At least it's keeping us entertained. Less than 10 laps left to go. Vaxton falling further and further behind Faxon, who's basically got 100 ERS. Jesus Christ. And Merv Martin gaining on Faxon. Gonna go a bit on board with Head Bumpier. He's been using that DRS to slowly, you know, regain that time to Half Shot Ferry, but never been able to really get past. He's got basically no ERS, and Half Shot Ferry only on 10% more. And Kevin, yeah, you're still driving. You left the session, but you didn't retire. I re-invited you though. Wait, it says you're out on your game. That's weird. No, you're clearly 12th. Oh, well, yeah, left the session, but clearly 12th. Pretty interesting. I re-invited you if you wanna try rejoin. Don't know what's going on there. Oh, you haven't left, but on my game it said it left. That's why I re-invited you though. So some sort of weird issue there. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, Head Bumpier, Half Shot Ferry. Head Bumpier looking to take it around the outside of Half Shot Ferry and into the chicane. Too far back to do so, and maybe Head Bumpier should stop trying to prioritize getting past Half Shot Ferry in turn 1 and instead should give it his all on the casino straight. Because he's clearly not being able to do it on the first corner, so maybe if he tries it down the casino straight, he'll have a better chance and send it down the inside or the outside. And if they both crash out at the Wall of Champions, then so be it. But yeah, at least he's not getting frustrated, or at least he's not showing signs of frustration behind Half Shot very well. He's not showing many signs of frustration, because there's a bit of frustration going on there. As Godly Noob and Martins are battling it out, and Godly Noob able to get past Martins. Martins on a fresh set of softs. When did that happen? 5 laps ago. Did I call this? Am I stupid? Am I blind? Possibly. Godly Noob managing to get past Martins. Smithbell 14 seconds behind, so no threat to Martins from him unless he spins out, crashes or something. And Godly Noob 16 seconds behind Jamie Robertson. DeRoy still 2 seconds or so behind Head Bumpier and Half Shot Ferry. Head Bumpier gets a 30-second time penalty, only driver in the top 5 to pick up a 30-second time penalty so far. And Head Bumpier still's got around 5% less ERS than Half Shot Ferry. He should try do some ERS saving as BNL Kevin enters the pit, but apparently it's the game controlling BNL Kevin, I'm not exactly sure. Oh, the game gave you control back at the Wall of Champions. Yep, brilliant game. You'll have to see it. Don't know why it booted you. And you smacked into it. Fucking brilliant. You'll have to see it. You'll have to see it. 12 seconds behind Bossman Pickle is BNL Kevin down in 13th. So far only one DNF in KCDB, who I think actually with that DNF now has the most DNFs if I'm not mistaken in the entirety of TRL. Not sure though. And Head Bumpier actually, I think I quickly have to check a notification that came in Discord, but I think he went wide or something because DeRoy managing to get past Head Bumpier. I'm gonna actually quickly go back on the stream and see what happened there. So it looked like Head Bumpier tried taking it around the inside of. Oh, that's what happened. So he tried taking it around the inside of Half Shot Ferry, then lost the rear end, which allowed DeRoy to get past, and now Head Bumpier is 7/10 behind DeRoy, who is slightly above slightly over a second behind Half Shot Ferry. Murph Martin closing the gap down to 3 seconds to Faxland. He's almost gonna have to lap a second Murph Martin's basically gonna need to lap. I can't speak. Wow, Murph Martin's gonna basically need to lap a second per lap faster than Faxon. There we go. Don't know why it was so hard to get it out, but yeah, to get past Faxon, got 3. Like I think he got 4 laps left of racing, so he needs to like really lap around the second lap faster. As Head Bumpier and DeRoy battle it out, and Bumpier manages to get past DeRoy, who is 1.4 seconds behind Half Shot Ferry. So if he manages to get within that DRS zone, we'll be able to maybe have another chance at overtaking Half Shot Ferry. DeRoy wants to make sure he doesn't pick up a 3-second time penalty, so that way he'll definitely get past Head Bumpier, regardless of what happens. Well, not regardless of what happens, and not definitely, but quite possibly will, as Martins and Godly Noob are going at it, and Martins managing, I think, to gain on Godly Noob since he's on the softs and Godly Noob on mediums, but actually 8 lap old softs versus 12 lap old mediums. I think the 12 lap old mediums might be in slightly better condition than the softs. It might be around equal. So it's pretty interesting that Martins is holding along with Godly Noob, because Godly Noob's a faster driver, but he does have DRS, and using this DRS you're going to see him take it around the outside of Godly Noob as DeRoy gets a 3-second time penalty he did not want to get, and Martins gets past Godly Noob. And Head Bumpier has closed the gap again so quickly to Half Shot Ferry, and I think Half Shot Ferry has been the thorn in Head Bumpier's side. I think he really held him back in today's race, but he just has not been able to get past him. no matter what he's thrown at Half Shot Ferry, Head Bumpier has not been able to get past Half Shot Ferry. And Goodly Noob again is fighting it with Martins, going to take it down the inside of Martins and past Martins. And that's what Head Bumpier should try to do with Half Shot Ferry, at least maybe challenge with a dive bomb down the inside in the Casino Straight. And Goodly Noob now being able to stay ahead of Martins in the first corner. And Head Bumpier taking it once again, trying to fight down the outside. Not able to get past, but he's so close. Maybe he's going to add DRS. Maybe he's going to be able to get past Half Shot Ferry. He's pretty far back. He's got no DRS. Half Shot Ferry has more ERS than Head Bumpier. And Head Bumpier is not going to be able to get past Half Shot Ferry. Half Shot Ferry defending the inside, but Head Bumpier's got no room for it. He's got a really clean and good exit, but so does Half Shot Ferry. And that lack of ERS is just not letting Head Bumpier get past, but he's going to try send it around the outside. He's going to have the inside line, and it's going to be beneficial at Head Bumpier after 34 laps is ahead of Half Shot Ferry. I think it's been 34 laps since he's been stuck behind Half Shot Ferry at least. And Half Shot Ferry, after defending for so long, has 1.5 laps to get that position back from Head Bumpier. Merv Martin 1.8 seconds behind Faxlin. We might even be able to get past Faxlin. It's going to be a really hard feat though for Merv Martin. And DeRoy's also right there behind Half Shot Ferry. Half Shot Ferry though, as long as he doesn't get a 3-second time penalty, will go into 4th nonetheless. Since Head Bumpier's got a 3-second time penalty and not getting a good exit from the Casino Straight, not being able to close the gap to Head Bumpier. But some Pickle in the meantime retired in Sector 2. I think he spun out of track. I could have swapped on BNL Kevin to see if that was the case. I think it was though. And Half Shot Ferry already almost a second behind Head Bumpier. Merv Martin 1.4 seconds behind Faxlin 1.5. I don't think he's gonna be able to do it. He's gonna, if he wants to do it, he's gonna need to gain like around a second till the Casino Straight, and then use DRS to get past. So it'll really be a last minute jab. Oh, Faxlin had a bit of front wing damage on his right side. I did not know that. Maybe that's why he wasn't able to go faster than JT. I'm not sure. Merv Martin. No, Merv Martin is not going to be able to get the DRS on Faxlin, so he's not going to be able to get past. JT Gelato, on the other hand, I don't know if he went for if he's going for fastest lap this time around. He's going to win the Canadian GP with kind of ease, as Faxlin is gonna pick up a nice second. Merv Martin in 3rd. He's fighting it down to the line, but Faxlin able to hold off Merv Martin. Faxlin in 2nd, Merv Martin in 3rd. Head Bumpier in 4th. Half Shot Ferry in 5th, DeRoy in 6th due to time penalties though. Head Bumpier drops down to 6th, which puts Half Shot Ferry in 4th and DeRoy in 5th. Goodly Noob and Martins will be fighting it down to the wire. And James Robertson crosses the line in 7th, but Goodly Noob able to hold off Martins and stay ahead of him down the Casino Straight, and is gonna finish off in 8th place, and Martins in 9th. Good race from both. Andre will be finishing off in 10th, Smithfell 11th. BNL Kevin in 12th, Boston Pickle in 13th, and MLT KCTB 2001 in 14th. Merv Martin, because of time penalties, really unlucky not to pick up 2nd, only 0.177. Actually, I don't think it was time penalties, it was just he finished that close to Faxlin, 0.177 seconds behind. And JT is too good. Don't get me wrong, JT is really good, but Faxlin almost had his number there. Driver of the day, Faxlin, makes sense to me. Went from like 7th to 2nd. Good drive from him, and if he did have front wing damage, maybe that's why I wasn't able to get past JT Gelato, like when the whole pit stop thing happened. Congratulations to JT Gelato. Merv Martin with his first podium. GG to him. Now this is how things stand. Busman Pickle picked up fastest lap at the 110.5. JT Gelato could have definitely gone for fastest lap if he tried after his second stop. Well done to Faxland for going with that one sub strategy. Managing to do his softs to mediums, beautiful strategy. Fortunate if he had the front wing damage, which didn't allow him to get ahead. Well, that's gonna be, yeah, podium Merv Martin. Nice one, mate. First podium, and only so close not to be off second. Yeah, and Kevin, you see, you thought you wouldn't be good for tier 1, but you did pretty well. I mean, not too bad, not too bad. Definitely better off in tier 1 than tier 2, I reckon. So yeah, it was a pretty nice race. Thank you all for joining me here in Canada. I'll see you again next week. I think we're in... I'll quickly check where we're at next week. I'm not sure where we're at. We are at Baku. We're in Azerbaijan next week, so maybe we could see even more DNFs than we saw in Brazil, the final race of the season. But anyway, I thank you all for joining me. I accidentally did my other YouTube intro. But yeah, I thank you all for joining me. And yeah, would have been more fun in tier 2 to fight in top 5 and sub 1-5. I hear you, I hear you. Fair enough. And don't get me wrong, you would reserve in tier 2 if we knew you. It's just we had so many absent in tier 1 today and in tier 2 as well, but trying to do a balance of both. It was better off to have you in tier 1. But yeah, I thank you guys all for joining me. And yeah, Godspeed.